Application forms for sharing accommodations must be
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Most babies start developing their hearing while still in the womb, prompting some hopeful parents to play classical music to their pregnant bellies. Some research even suggests that infants are listening to adult speech as early as 10 weeks before birth, gathering the basic building blocks of their family's native tongue. Most babies start developing their hearing while still in the womb. Quite obviously, a significant rise in the number of people in a given area or country will affect the demand for a whole host of goods and services. Note that a change in the structure of the population will increase the demand for some goods but reduce the demand for others. A significant rise in the number of people in a given area or country. The researchers concluded that millions of people around the world may have inhabited a gray zone between living and dying, in which they have had an out-of-body experience. People often wake up profoundly changed, no longer fearing death and resolve to live a better life. The researcher concluded that millions of people around the world early experiences with music play a role in human beings. Most babies have perfect pitch, and this is usually reserved if they are given music lesson at an early age. Speaking a tonal language such as Mandarin, where words can have different meanings depending on tone and pitch, also have to develop perfect pitch. Pitch, pitch. Early experiences with music play a role in human beings. There is a big difference between sadness and distress. Feeling a bit sad or angry is normal in your day-to-day life and can be triggered by a range of different things. However, if you are feeling increasingly angry, frustrated, helpless, or confused, then you may be suffering from something which it requires a professional to step in. There is a big difference. Sadness and distress, feeling a bit sad or angry is normal in your day-to-day life. Building a personal library requires careful consideration and a discerning eye for selecting literary work that resonate with one's intellectual curiosity beyond being a physical manifestation of one's intellectual journey. Personal libraries serve as a sanctuary for intellectual stimulation and contemplation. They offer Building a personal library requires careful consideration and a discerning eye for selecting literal work.
Please stop writing as soon as the teacher asks.
Please stop writing. And teacher,
This lecture will discuss 3 different areas of digital technology.
3 different digital technology.
The public phone has been moved next to the coffee shop in the lobby.
Next to the coffee shop.
Email is fast and easy for talking in today's world.
Email is fast and easy.
To know its beginning, just look at its past and history.
Just look at the past and history.
His art collection has lots of different kinds of art.
Lots of different kinds of arts.
Eating too much unhealthy fast food makes people sick often.
Eating too much unhealthy fast food.
Our professor will host a business development conference next week.
A business conference next week.
Submit your portfolio to the internal review office by Tuesday at the latest.
The internal review office by the latest.
It is strongly advised that you purchase some medical insurance for yourself when studying abroad.
Medical insurance when you study abroad. The picture talk about unemployment rate from 1986 to 2011. Overall, the number went up quickly, and there are many items including unemployment rate. From the picture, 1996 showed the highest number at 74%, and also 2011 showed the lowest number at 66%. In conclusion, the picture is very informative. I think that's enough. Twenty 2015 and 2016 current housing code 250 tobacco product under 50. Okay. The picture talk about average weekly household spending on goods and services 2015-2016. Overall, there is many items including current housing code, transport, and tobacco products. From the picture, current housing code show the highest number at 250, and tobacco products show the lowest number at under 50. In conclusion, the picture is very informative. I think that's enough. Language distribution, number, speaker, Mandarin, English, other language, Arabic. The pictures talk about global language distribution by number of speakers. Overall, there are many items including Mandarin, English, Arabic, and other language. From the picture, Mandarin showed the highest number at 19%, and also Arabic showed the lowest number at 6%. In conclusion, the picture is very informative. I think that's enough. Mhm. The picture shows an overview about collect and recycle process. According to the picture, the main subject of the picture includes salt and spread products, mold and manufacture product in the first step. In addition, the background of the picture shows assemble and ship the product in the second step. Moreover, the main point of the picture shows purchase and use product in the final step. In conclusion, the picture is very informative. I think that's enough. The picture shows an overview about three people in a doctor's office. According to the picture, the main subject of the picture includes a doctor ejecting. In addition, the background of the picture shows a man listening. Moreover, the main point of the picture shows a nurse writing. In conclusion, the picture is very informative. I think that's enough.
We can ask two fundamental questions about animal behaviour. They're referred to as proximate and ultimate. Proximate questions are those concerned with the mechanisms that bring about behaviour. Ultimate questions are those concerned with the evolution of behaviour. We can divide the proximate and ultimate questions into two sub-questions. For proximate, how does the behaviour develop? And secondly, what causes the behaviour? For ultimate, we can ask, how did the behaviour evolve? And secondly, what is the adaptive significance of the behaviour? What's its purpose? Together, these comprise what are called Tinbergen's 4 questions about animal behaviour. Nico Tinbergen was one of the founding fathers of the study of animal behaviour. These questions represent the different ways of studying animal behaviour. And understanding the difference between those 4 questions are fundamental to understanding behaviour and indeed the whole of biology. How do we study animal behaviour? Well, that depends on the type of question we're hoping to answer.
The lecture is about how we study animal behavior. The speaker talked about 2 fundamental questions and the evolution. He also points out 2 sub-questions and how behavior developed, with the 4 questions about animals in different ways. In the end, the lecture explained how we study animal behavior and the understanding of biology's affect animal behavior. I think that's enough. Thank you so much.
But if I were to ask you a similar question, what percentage of the population do you think is capable of truly mastering calculus, or understanding organic chemistry, or being able to contribute to cancer research? A lot of y'all might say, well, with a great education system, maybe 20, 30%. But what if that estimate is just based on your own experience in a non-mastery framework, your own experience with yourself or observing your peers, where you're being pushed at this set pace through classes, accumulating all these gaps. Even when you got the A, that 95%, what was that 5% that you missed? And it keeps accumulating all the way that you get to a more advanced class, and all of a sudden you hit a wall and say, oh, I'm not meant to be a cancer researcher. I'm not meant to be a physicist. I'm not meant to be a mathematician. And I suspect that that actually is the case, but if you were allowed to be operating in a mastery framework, if you were allowed to really take agency over your learning, and when you get something wrong, embrace it, view that failure as a moment of learning, that number of the percent that could really master calculus or understand organic chemistry is actually a lot closer to 100%. And this isn't even just a nice to have. I think it's a social imperative.
The lecture is about organic chemistry. The speaker talked about a similar question in understanding chemistry. He also pointed out education system, experience you put yourself, and fill in the gaps. In the end, the lecture explained how physicists frame work and your learning when the moment of your learning affect the organic chemistry. I think that's enough. Thank you so much.
3 students are discussing their project meeting place on campus.
I think we should meet in a conference room in the university library. We can conveniently borrow books we need right there while we work. It's a quiet space with plenty of resources, and we won't have to carry heavy books around later. Plus, the library has those small study rooms we can book if we need complete privacy.
I'm not so sure about that idea. The library is always so crowded during this time of day. There would be too many people studying and chatting outside the rooms, and it will be very noisy even inside the conference areas. Last time I tried to study there, I could hardly concentrate with all the distractions. Maybe we should consider someplace else that's actually quiet.
I have a compromise. We can go to the library first to borrow all the books we need for our research. Then, we can move to a coffee shop to sit down and assign tasks to each other properly. If we run into any issues later or can't meet in person, we can always continue our discussion online. This way we get the resources we need and a comfortable space to talk.
That's actually a smart plan. Which coffee shop were you thinking about? There are several near campus, but most tend to be quite busy in the afternoons. I remember the one near the south gate has good space, but it's always packed with students. Maybe we should look for someplace less popular?
I like the idea, but I have to go back home around 4 p.m. to receive a package that's being delivered. I don't want to miss it, since it's something important for the project. I can join you guys after that, though it might make me a little late for the meeting. Would it be okay if I catch up with you both later?
That should be fine. Just remember to call us when you go out of home so we know when to expect you. We can start without you and fill you in when you arrive. If anything urgent comes up, we can always hop on a quick online call to keep you in the loop.
Sounds good. Now back to picking a coffee shop. I've been to almost all of them around here, and most do have too many people during this time. What about that new place called Honeycup? It's a bit farther from campus, but I heard they have amazing pastries and plenty of seating.
I've passed by Honeycup a few times. It does look cozy, and they have those big booths at the back. More importantly, it usually has fewer people compared to chains like Starbucks. Plus, who can say no to sweet treats while working, right?
Great, then it's settled. We'll meet at the library at 3 p.m., get our books, then walk over to Honeycup to assign tasks and discuss the project outline. Don't forget to call us when you're on your way.
There is a group of people talking about studying in the library. The first speaker mentioned some detail like borrow books and carry heavy books in the small study rooms. And not sure about this. And many students study and chat outside. And our research and how they go to the coffee shop and meeting in person, we discuss online. And the second speaker also highlights some factors about a smart plan and busy in the afternoon and look for some place less popular and back home at 4 p.m. and something important for the project and catch up later. Another person also shared a few ideas about remember to call us, fill you in when you arrive, and too many people at the time. Amazing food, plenty of seating. People feel compared to Starbucks, and we meet at the library 3 p.m. And don't forget to call us. In conclusion, the group conversation is very informative.
3 teachers are discussing whether students are allowed to use cell smartphones in class.
Honestly, I think it should be prohibited. Students are disturbed by texts sent from their friends. This phenomenon really bothers me. We should stipulate that they must switch off their phones during class. I don't like seeing my child playing on the phone during meals.
But I think it's okay if only students use them for educational purposes. Smartphones can help those who are not good at English better understand what we teach. I would like my class to be lively, so I tell students to look up information on the phone during group discussions. But they must put it away after that.
I don't like students using phones in class either. Obviously, they are very easy to get distracted. We should organize a free technology tutorial Tuesday to discourage them from the use of phones. The tutorial could teach them how to use educational apps responsibly, but more importantly, it would highlight the negative effects of constant multitasking on their concentration and grades.
You can't ask them not to use it if teachers can't. Many teachers are glued to their own devices during lectures or breaks. This hypocrisy sends a mixed message. If we implement a policy, it must be across the board. Perhaps we could have a designated phone storage area for everyone at the start of each class to ensure compliance.
That's a fair point. If we expect students to follow the rules, we should also adhere to them. Maybe a school-wide policy for both teachers and students would be more effective. I've seen classrooms where everyone deposits their phones in a caddy at the door. It creates an immediate shift in focus and engagement. It shows we are all part of the same learning community, with the same rules.
I agree. Consistency is key. Let's propose a clear policy. Phones off and out of sight during class, unless specifically instructed for educational use. And teachers should commit to the same standard.
That sounds reasonable. As long as we allow some flexibility for learning activities, I can support that. Education should evolve with technology, but not at the cost of focus and discipline. We could pilot this in a few classes first, gather feedback from students and teachers, and then refine the policy before rolling it out school-wide.
Exactly. Balance is important. We want to embrace useful tools without letting them become a distraction. A pilot program is a great idea. It allows us to demonstrate the academic and social benefits of phone-free periods while addressing any practical concerns beforehand.
Then it's settled. We need a clear, fair policy. Let's draft a proposal together for the next faculty meeting. I'll gather some research on improved student performance in phone-free schools to strengthen our argument. We need to show data to get everyone on board.
There is a group of people talking about using cell smartphone in class. The first speaker mentioned some details like students text their friends and switch off phone during classes. It's okay to use in education, and students better understand what we teach and look up on the phone or student use phones in classes. The second speaker also highlights some factors about teach them how to use and concentrate in the lessons, and teacher use the devices and mix messages, and everyone in each class is a fair point. Another person also shared a few ideas about student follow the rule and classroom deposits and sound reasonable for teacher and student, and focus on and gather feedback from teachers. Balance is important on a pilot program and social benefits. In conclusion, the group conversation is very informative.
Your tutor is looking for volunteers to help prepare for the school open week. You are interested in this position and want to tell him why you are suitable for it. What would you say to him?
Hello, my name is Lily, and I'm happy to talk to you. I'm here to talk regarding you are looking for a volunteer to help prepare for the school open week, and I'm interested in this position, and I want to tell you why I am suitable for it. Please call me back as soon as possible. Thank you very much for your time and your support.
You left your jacket at the library and didn't realize it until you got home. You need to send a message to the library staff. asking if they can keep it before you go back tomorrow. What would you say?
Hello, my name is Lily, and I'm happy to talk to you. I'm here to talk regarding I left my jacket at the library, and I didn't realize it until I got home. I need to send a message to the library staff asking if I can keep it before I go back tomorrow. Please call me back as soon as possible. Thank you very much for your time and your support.